I've become obsessed with this Konig trial out of Hawaii. It's very rare that we actually see a defendant taking the stand in his own defense, contradicting what his son testified to. So, was it effective? Welcome to the Margaret McLean Show. I'm your courtroom translator, and we're about to go behind the scenes in this sensational attempted murder trial in Hawaii. In this episode, I'll break down the defendant Gerhardt Konig's testimony. He's on trial for attempted murder, and the prosecution claims he tried to kill his wife on a hiking trail in Maui. His wife, Arial Konig, testified that he attacked her and she was in fear for her life. Two witnesses saw the defendant on top of her, striking her with a rock. Then his own son testified that he made two FaceTime calls shortly after the attack from the vicinity of the trail, saying he tried to kill Ariel and he was going to commit suicide. Now, in my opinion, the defendant decided to take the stand specifically to contradict what his son said. He's hoping the jury will find reasonable doubt that this is actually not attempted murder. No, it was more like a scuffle on the slope, on the trail side. He probably thinks he's super smart, and the jury just has to believe his version of events. The plan is to go through most of his testimony. It's very long, so I'm not going to go through all of it. We can skip some of the preliminary parts where he describes the education and his job history before meeting his wife, Ariel. So again, I find this case absolutely fascinating. Please subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my analysis, and we're going to get right to it. Got to put the glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. And here we go.
Honor, at this time we'll call Dr. Gerhardt Konig to stand. Doctor, please.
You do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. Please have a seat. Okay. If you could please state your full name for the record and for the members of the jury.
Gerhardt Konig,
Gerhard, how old are you?
47,
Where were you born?
South Africa.
And were your parents from South Africa?
Yes.
What are their names, and are they still alive, and are they still married?
Yeah, Peter and Emile, they're alive and married.
Okay. And they've been here, is that them here in the front row today?
That's them.
Where do they live now?
San Diego.
Growing up, what did your parents do for work?
My dad's a pharmacist, and in South Africa, my mom didn't work.
How long did you live in South Africa, or maybe a better way to ask that is, how old were you when you moved from South Africa?
I was 14,
And where did you move to at that age?
San Diego.
A little bit. In my opinion, he seems a little bit smug on the stand. I mean, the jury is assessing his credibility at that point. Wouldn't you think he'd appear somewhat nervous and concerned? Instead, he's almost smiling. And by the way, this is the picture of Gerhard Konig and his wife in obviously better times. So we're going to go on and skip ahead here. And this part is going to be where he's testifying about moving to Maui with his family, including his wife.
After months of that, I said, okay, if you want to ask her, you can. And he asked her, and she actually said yes. And so that triggered us to kind of say, oh shoot, now we can move now. We can move earlier. And so
Let me ask you about that. So at this point, Emile was about what age?
15.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he talked about how you were married and while he was growing up, and then how old was he roughly when you guys got divorced, you and his mom, roughly?
9.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so from when he was born till 9, you obviously very active in his life, is that right?
Yes.
And then after that, you had him every other week, is that
Yes,
right?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then come a time, now he's 16, and he's actually asking if he can go to Maui with you. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we've had a really good
Okay.
relationship.
And so that kind of made the timeline where you guys could go sooner. Is that right?
Yes.
And what about Ophelia? By the time you guys were moving, was she already over 18?
Yeah, she was over, and she had moved out of the house already, and
Okay.
so yeah, she didn't come to Maui with us.
Okay. Now, so when you first moved here, did Emile then finish high school in Maui?
Yes, Maui High.
We heard about how Miss Konig's parents, or Ariel's parents, also moved to Maui. How did that happen?
Yeah, no, they that was really nice actually, how it worked out. But because we didn't have any family here,
Okay.
and two young boys. But when we told them we're moving to Maui from Pittsburgh, and they were living in Florida at the time, they said that that's too far, you know, and they
To be
actually decided
away from you guys.
Yeah, and so they decided they're going to move to California because they didn't want to move to Hawaii, but they'd never been to Hawaii, and so they had this trip planned where they were going to go look at a few different places in California, and we convinced them to come to Hawaii too for a few days,
Okay.
just to basically, you know, visit with us.
Yeah, we're trying to see if they like it.
We just told them this. We bought a house really close to the hospital so I could walk to work. It also meant that I could take all my call shifts from home, and whenever I was done at the day, I could be home in a few minutes, and it translated into me being home a lot more than I was in Pittsburgh at my previous job, and so that meant that I was spending a lot more time with the kids and with Ari and with Emile. I was doing a lot of home improvement projects, and then as a family, we were doing lots of exploring. Like every weekend, we would explore Maui. We did a lot of beach activities. We went to the beach almost every weekend: snorkeling, surfing, paddleboarding, hiking.
Okay, so it was a good life.
Yeah, we made a bunch of friends through my work and through Olin's preschool. Some of his friends and friends' parents, and we were getting settled in.
Yeah, and let me ask you, Ariel, when you testified, when the detective asked her about how the marriage was before December 2024, she said it was a good marriage. Do you agree with that?
I thought it was a great marriage. Yeah,
Okay.
I totally agree.
I just had a question. That being said, during that time period, did it ever come up that area between that time period, did moving back to the mainland ever come up?
It did. So her job, and when she was first hired by Terra Power, they'd asked her to move to Seattle, and they said, "Hey, would you move to Seattle?" And she said no.
Okay.
And then a few times they had kind of asked her again to, if she would consider that.
Okay.
Our plan was always to at least stay in Maui until the kids graduate high school, and then we can kind of focus on our careers again, and let the career drive the decisions.
Now, I was asking a little bit about your marriage during that time period, and this came up with Ariel. In your marriage back then, who handled the financial affairs more so, like, taxes, life insurance, finances between the two of you?
I did.
Okay. And why was that so?
I'm a very meticulous kind of person that keeps track of everything, and so it's just kind of more naturally in my,
Yeah, pretty organized.
Yeah.
Did you have, like computer files with different, insurance, taxes,
yeah.
all that stuff?
And all of our things were joint. We didn't have any separate anything, and so
I skip forward a little bit to where the defendant is discussing his wife's affair and how it made him quite upset. And here we go, him talking about it.
Yeah, I confront her with it, and she's immediately remorseful and doesn't deny anything, admits to it, and is crying and
Let me ask you this. You say admits to it, and when Ms. Konig testified, she kept using the term, you guys use the term emotional affair, but in that time period, what did she admit to? Having a...
She admitted to having an affair. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Jeff Miller.
Yeah, she admitted this was completely inappropriate relationship.
Okay. And so you
we
mentioned
called it
she-
an affair from the start.
And you mentioned she was remorseful and crying.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, here we are now in San Luis Obispo. This is going on. What was your emotional state like at the time? In other words, what were you thinking needed to happen? And like, you know, you guys were going to try to work this out or
Yeah.
not, or while you're on the trip?
Yeah, no, I mean it was tough. I mean a lot of emotions for sure, but Brian and John were really helpful, and we were away from the kids and away from work and away from everything else, so we can kind of just focus on this.
Okay.
And
You guys reached some kind of conclusion as
yeah.
to whether or not you guys were going to break up or what?
Oh yeah. So yeah, we both wanted to work on it. We both, well, she basically said, like, I'm so sorry, I can't believe I did this, and I'll do anything it takes to heal our marriage, and you know, you and our kids are more important than anything to me, and you know, I'll do whatever it takes. And we start talking to Brian and Jana, and they kind of help us talk about some things, and we figure out, you know, what the next steps are going to be.
Now, during the trip in San Luis Obispo, did the topic of her possibly moving out come up?
Yes.
And-
Yeah,
and-
that was one of the big conversations we had.
And did you guys settle in on, okay, she's not going to move out just right now, we're going to try?
Yeah, so I preferred for her to move out.
Do you mean like break up?
No, we were both committed to working on the marriage, but and this is what Brian and Jana did too. So Brian ended up living in a hotel for like 3 months, and it helped them just focus on the affair and healing from the affair, and then they kind of moved back and kind of, you know,
Okay.
start working on everything else, and I felt that was, you know, an ideal solution.
Did she want to do that?
Well, both of us, we decided together not to do that, and because we had, you know, the two big complicating issues for us was one, our two little boys. So we at the time they were like 1.5 and 4.
So at this time when she was having this relationship with Mr. Miller, how old were the boys?
1.5 and 4.
Okay. And you're saying, obviously, if she moved out, it would have been traumatic on them.
Yeah, so we didn't want.
Okay. Okay. So you guys, it's okay. You guys decide to not do that then.
Yeah, we didn't want them harmed.
Okay.
But
So let me ask you this: in order for her to not move out, to avoid that harm. Sorry. May I approach John?
thank you. Excuse me 1 second.
Is he really crying? Or has he just got a stuffed up nose? I really can't tell. Do you guys buy his song and dance here? I think
You
he's
want water?
too practiced.
Yes, please.
Maybe he's,
You mentioned the kids.
Here we go.
Was there did Ari have other concerns about her moving out?
Yeah, and the other concern, and again, this is a joint decision, is that we wanted to protect her reputation with family and friends, and so Bryant was able to move out, and really nobody else knew. It was just Ari and I actually that knew, and that was it.
So in other words, if Ari moved out on Maui, you talked about you guys had formed a pretty good close group of friends. Her parents.
We did, and everybody lived right there, and it's a small community, and I mean, people were going to know that she moved out and would ask why, and
So that was part of the joint decision.
yes.
so the defendant explains for quite some time about his wife's affair and how they were sorry and they were trying to work it out through counseling and reading books on marriage. You know, sometimes I just think lawyers need to move a little faster. This part was putting me to sleep, so I can imagine the jurors were getting a little bored as well. So we're going to fast forward to the part about the hike where the incident, or shall I say, attempted murder occurred. Well, here we go, glasses back on. bear with me for 2 seconds. All right. Oh my God, it's getting late. I'm actually doing this late at night.
Also hike with Emile?
There we go.
All the time.
Okay. On Maui?
I'm out, yeah. He loved hiking and jumping off waterfalls.
Okay, so you do the research, do you come across the Palipuka hike?
Yes.
And what did you learn about it, and why did you choose that one? What were the things that made you choose that one over the other ones that you researched?
It just seemed like a really cool spot that you end up in, where there's this hole in the mountain that you can look through and take pictures. The hike itself seemed fun because it provided a bunch of great views, but it was also kind of close to Waikiki, and it wasn't too long of a hike.
Why did it matter if it was really long or not?
We didn't want to spend the whole day out, so we were only going to be here from Sunday to Tuesday, and so Monday was our only the only day that we were here the whole day, and we wanted to hang out by the pool for
So
part
was
of
the
the
plan, go on this kind of shorter hike and then go hang out at the pool the rest of the day?
Yeah.
Did you also make a dinner reservation at
Yes.
Set?
Yes.
They never made
For
it
that
to
night?
that.
Yes.
Did you explain to Ari ahead of time that you had found this Palipuka hike?
Yes.
Did you tell her a little bit about it?
Yeah.
Did she object to it in any way?
No, not at all. She sounded excited.
Excuse me?
She sounded excited.
Okay, second day, now, you said the plan was short hike, spend some time at the pool, go to dinner. Let's talk about that day. So that was that her birthday, we've heard?
Yes.
So you guys wake up and already in evidence is State's Exhibit 133. May we publish that, Your Honor?
Yes.
Did you give her a birthday card that day?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, we're not going to read the whole thing, but did you
Oh,
mean the
good.
words you wrote in there?
I did.
Okay. We can take that down. Did you also get her a birthday present?
I did.
What did you get her?
It was a necklace, like a Koa wood silver necklace.
Okay. You wake up, what do you do before heading out to the hike?
We had breakfast at the hotel, and then next door to the hotel was a bakery where we got some coffee and some pastries.
Okay. May I approach with D-175?
Yes.
Could we please admit D-175 into evidence?
Mr. Garner? No objection. What has been marked for identification as Defendant's Exhibit D-175 is received into evidence.
Can we please publish? Okay. So this is a photo from that morning before the hike?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We can take that down. Thank you. Now, as you're, were you gonna drive to the hike?
Yeah, we had a rental car.
Now, did you receive an email that morning that you shared with Ariel before the hike dealing with life insurance?
Yes.
So first of all, let me ask you, let's back up a little bit. You talked about January, February, and you guys kind of get to this place where you're in counseling, and you guys decide you're going to be together, and you're working on it. Did there come a time when part of what you did during that time was assess the life insurance situation of you and Ariel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell the jury about that.
And
What-
really, it was pulling the trigger on life insurance. So I used to have life insurance in Pittsburgh through my employer, and didn't have life insurance when we moved to Maui, and it was always on the to-do list, and just got busy with life and other things. Originally looked into it the previous year, but never went so far as to contact the life insurance agent and actually go through with it. And in January, we were kind of working on big picture relationship things, and I was like, oh shoot, we still have to get life insurance.
Okay.
And so I talked to Ari, and we both applied for life insurance at the same time at the end of
Did you get the
January.
same amount?
No.
Why not?
The idea was that if one spouse would die, the other one would be able to continue on and live in the same house. And so it was, since I made significantly more money than she did, it was basically enough money that she could pay off the house if I would die.
So what was the plan in terms of the amount you were trying to get on your life for her?
1.5 million.
Okay. And then when you guys did the analysis of what, you know, if something happened to her, you would still have your salary to pay for the house and whatnot.
That's right.
So what was the amount that was decided for her?
250,000.
Okay. And the 1.5 million that you were trying to get on your life, was she the beneficiary?
Yes.
Okay. And vice versa?
Yes.
Jurors do like to hear about life insurance. So this was purchased not to, before, it was purchased before the hike, a few weeks or whatever he said prior to the hike. So jurors are going to think about that, even though he would get, what, 250,000 if she died, she would get more. But you never know. Jurors will be saying, ooh, light goes off in the head, life insurance, what's he really doing? Is it part of premeditation here?
Okay. So 250 if something happened to her, but 1.5 million to her if something happened to you. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, when you went about securing the 1.5 million on your life for her, did it happen in two parts?
It did.
And so the first part was for how much?
1 million.
And when did that roughly get approved in relation to March 24th?
A few weeks before.
Okay. The morning of March 24th.
A few weeks before, okay? Somebody just wrote a note down in the jury box, I guarantee it.
Did you receive an email about the other 500?
Yes.
And what was the email?
That policy had gone through, and I needed to DocuSign the final documents to make it effective.
And did you DocuSign it that morning?
Yeah.
Your Honor, can I approach with D116?
Yes.
Dr. Konig, I'm showing you D116. I want you to look at it, and there's a lot of pages to it, but just the first page. Like, tell me what is D116?
This is the email from AAA Life that is asking me to DocuSign the policy.
Okay. And what date and time did you receive? Well,
I received it on Monday, March 24th at Monday, March 24th, 2025 at 8:02 a.m.
okay. And is this a fair and accurate depiction of the email and attachments you received on the morning of the hike?
Yes.
Your Honor, I ask to move it into evidence.
Mr. Brown? No objection.
You know the defense will cross on
Identification
this.
of defendant's exhibit D116 is received into evidence.
Could we please publish the first page, Mr. Dirks? Okay, so let's look at this, okay? So, Gerhardt, at the top it says, please DocuSign, it has your name, it has the AAA life insurance. I guess that's AAA. Is that who you did?
Yes.
Is that who you got your life insurance from?
Yes.
And the date there is March 24th, 8:02, is that right?
That's right.
And this was for the extra 500 you were adding on to the million of life insurance you got for her a few weeks before, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you discuss this additional 500 that went through with Ms. Konig, and that the email came in and you DocuSign? Did you tell her about that before the hike on March 24th, 2025?
I did, because we were in the parking lot after the coffee shop, and I was on my phone. I was like, oh, you know what, my, the last of my life insurance just went through. They're asking me to DocuSign it, and so I was doing that.
All right, we can take that down.
Just want to let her know that I'm not like just texting or something, like, because we were out together.
Okay, so you were telling her what it was that you were looking at.
Is this just a coincidence?
Yes.
Thank you.
Find it very interesting.
And so, from that point on, if something happened to you and in an accident or whatnot, she would get $1.5 million, correct?
That's correct.
You guys drive up to the Poly Lookout after that?
Yes,
You get to the parking lot. Was it crowded when you got there?
it was.
Did you guys go, what did you guys do first after you parked?
We went to go. Actually, I think she went to the restroom first.
And the porta potty?
No, there's a bathroom
Okay,
at the lookout,
okay.
and then we went to the lookout.
You went to the lookout. Now, Ms. Konig testified about this thing about how it looked like there were hikers trying to find a trailhead, and then you said, oh wait, we want to be alone. Did that happen?
No,
How hard is it to find the trailhead?
It's not hard if you know where it is. It's not marked with a sign or anything, but it's right behind the the bright blue porta potties, and there's a permanent rock wall, and it's like rock, like kind of almost like an altar right there. So if you know what to look for, it's really easy to find.
Here he's contradicting what his wife said previously when she testified. So this is where the testimony becomes very critical, and the jury is really going to assess his credibility here. So listen carefully to what comes next.
After the looking at the lookout, did you guys start the hike?
Yes.
You head up the trail, and as you head up the trail, did you guys stop and take any photos?
Yes.
Okay, and can we, I believe S-131 is in evidence. Can we publish it? Let's just let the court confirm.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Okay, so is this a photo that was on right after you, kind of shortly before you, I mean, right when you started the hike?
Yes.
And who posted that?
Arial did.
Okay, let's take that down. Now, you're continuing on the hike. What happens at some point? Well, did something happen that led to an argument?
Yes.
Tell the jury what happened that led to an argument. Well, first of all, how far up into the hike was it?
Not very far. Just like 5 minutes. Like after about 5 minutes of hiking, you get to a part where it flattens out a bit, and the edge isn't, like the cliffside isn't open, but there's a couple of spots where you can get to the cliffside if you wanted to. So we're kind of still in that area, the same area that picture was taken.
Okay.
And Ari says, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something. I'm working on this project with Jeff Miller, and I'm gonna need to travel with him again, and I need you to be okay with that. Is that okay?"
And so she was kind of telling you like, hey, there's just things at work going on. I need you to be okay with this. And asking you to trust her.
Yes.
Okay. And again, you mentioned you guys weren't talking about the affair at home anymore because of counseling, correct?
That's correct.
And you guys weren't talking about it in counseling a lot at that time?
We hadn't gotten to
That,
kind of the core of it yet.
so she brings this up. What is your reaction to it?
I'm very surprised, yeah.
Were you upset and angry?
I wasn't angry. I was surprised and upset, and I told her no. Like I'm not okay with that. And not only am I not okay with that, like I'm never going to be okay with that. Like we haven't dealt with that part. Like the only reason why I was okay with her still even working there is because we had placed these limits on their communication. But in my mind, like she still needed at some point to quit her job, and this was only put on hold while we were trying to deal with all these other things. She basically said like, well, I can't quit my job right now because I don't even know if I want to stay with you. So we were dealing with like the issues that she brought up first, but it's not like any of the affair had been resolved at all. Like it had just kind of been put on hold. And so
How did you feel that she would even think that this would even be okay?
yeah, I mean, it made me realize that we were just not on the same page at all in terms of, like, here I am just kind of like sublimating my feelings and focusing on her hurt and waiting patiently for her to do the same to me. And this made me feel like she wasn't intending on doing that ever.
So what did you say back to her? Were you guys kind of arguing about it?
Yeah, we were for sure arguing.
Okay, and then so what did you say anything to her?
I just said,
moving out?
yeah, I said like I need you to move out. Like this has gone far enough. I need you to move out, and I'm going to tell people why you're moving out, and I'm going to show them what you did, because like unless you face this and unless you take full accountability for this, like we're never going to get through this.
So and that was like after you guys had been kind of arguing
Yes.
for a while about. I mean, an argument starts. You guys are arguing. You're telling her no. You're telling her all these things.
Yeah, I mean the argument developed more slowly than what just happened, and there was other things said too. But that's
how it culminated with you telling her, well, if that's the case, if that's how you feel, you got to move on.
yes.
Okay. What did she say anything to you about about her mom and Gianna?
She did. So like earlier in the conversation, she had be like, well, what if my mom chaperones my work trips with him? And I was like, no, like I'm still not okay with that. Like, and that's not a long-term viable solution. And then later in the argument, when things kind of got heated, she was like, well, actually, my mom just said that she'll chaperone the trip and she thinks Jeff is interesting and can't wait to meet him. And I'm like, you're obviously telling them a whole different version of what happened than me.
So in the argument, in her effort to say for you to be okay with it and go on the trip, she said, well, what if my mom chaperones me?
Yes.
That would be weird.
After, it comes to this point in the argument where you say, well, you know what, you got to move out there. I'm going to tell everybody what you did. I mean, it was a pretty, it got to kind of it was not a good conversation, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you do next?
I stomped off. I just stomped off up the trail. And this was a point where we were both really kind of just upset with each other. And I went one way and she went the other way.
How far up did you go?
5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. Why did you turn around?
I was kind of at a loss of not kind of a loss. I was I just didn't want to be there. Like
Did it make sense for you to keep going on this hike?
no. I like 5 to 10 minutes in, I was like realizing kind of where I was, and I was like, I don't want to be here. I want to go home and like start dealing with what we need to deal with. I don't want to, I got to the point where it opens up and it's like these beautiful views, and I'm like there by myself and
Okay.
upset, and I was like, I don't want to be on this hike by myself, upset, and I don't want to do this hike. I'm going to come back and do this hike at a different time when I'm happy. I was really looking forward to doing the hike.
When you headed back down, were you expecting Ariel to be where you had left her?
No,
And were you expecting her to be?
I thought she went to the car because I saw her head down the trail.
And there was testimony that she said when you got there, you said, "Oh, you're still here." Did you say that to her?
Yes.
And is that because you assumed she had gone back to the parking lot?
Yes.
How far away from the parking lot were you guys when this argument started?
Like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Or less, probably. Yeah.
Okay. Now you get back. What is her demeanor and behavior like now?
Like a 180 reversal, basically. So she was like extremely apologetic, and said, basically, I'm so sorry. You're right. Like, I need to take accountability and like, let's just, not ruin the day. I don't want to ruin the day. I don't want to ruin our trip. And let's keep talking about this in therapy. And she said, like, I won't travel with Jeff.
Did you guys end up taking a selfie?
Yeah. First she was like, again, like almost manic, like super happy, and was trying to basically, get me to be in a better mood. And she was like, I'm gonna climb this tree, take pictures of me in this tree. And so she handed me her phone, and I took some pictures of her in the tree. And then after that, she said, let's take a selfie by the cliff's edge.
That was her idea.
Yes,
Okay. Did you guys take one?
we did.
And what happened after that?
Right after the selfie, I just remember kind of staying at the edge there and looking over the edge and just kind of still in thought about everything that had just happened and what's going on. And then I felt like a shove,
Okay.
and I was almost pushed over the edge.
Okay. You felt a
This is obviously not what his wife testified to, Ariel, at all. We'll keep going.
shove. Okay. Who shoved you?
Ari did.
What did you do right after that?
Barely caught myself and turned around and looked at her and was like, what the fuck was that? Like,
Okay. Turn around and it was like what like was like kind of in shock, like what the fuck was that?
yes.
Okay. And then did you move towards her?
Yeah, I did. I was like, just asking her, like, what was that? And started walking towards her.
Okay.
Because at this point, she was like 5 or 10 feet away from me.
Okay. So you walk towards her, and you mentioned when you're walking towards her, where were your hands?
Out.
Okay. Now, did you get close to her?
Yes, eventually, yeah. Wow.
And when, by the way, when you start walking towards her, is she saying anything?
Not initially, but I turn around and I'm asking her like, what the hell's, what the fuck just happened and what's going on. And as I'm starting to walk towards her, she starts yelling.
She starts yelling.
Yeah, help me, help me.
Okay. And then what happens?
And then I just keep walking to her like, what are you doing?
Were you telling her, like, why are you screaming?
Yeah, what are you doing? And I get to her and I'm like, touching her, just putting my hands on her arms, and I was like, what are you doing? What's going on?
What happens then?
She keeps yelling, and she kind of grabs my wrists and throws herself on the ground and pulls me down with her.
So now you guys are on the ground?
Yes.
Okay. When you're on the ground, what starts to happen?
She's holding on to me, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, but I'm also at this point trying to let go of, like, trying to get free because she's like actively holding on to me. Like she has her leg like wrapped around one of my legs and like is actively holding on to me and is yelling. And so I'm trying to, get free, and I get my one arm free, and I try to use it to get my other arm free, and she grabs me by the testicles. And
Okay. Let me stop you there. Did you ever, in the course of this whole thing you described so far, ever try to pull her towards, push her off, or drag her towards the cliff's edge?
No, not at all.
Okay. So you're on the ground. She's kind of holding on to you. You guys are. Would you just kind of like a scuffle going on?
Yes.
Okay. And her legs wrapped around you.
Yes.
You mentioned we got right up to the point where you said she grabbed your testicles. Is that right?
Yes.
How hard did she grab it?
I mean, this was, like,
Pretty hard.
she, like, was holding on to me by my testicles, basically, like, that hard.
Okay. Did she grab it and let go, or did she grab it and hold on?
She grabbed it and held on.
Now, what happens after she does that?
Then I try to,
I kind of find that part of his testimony hard to believe, because if she was really grabbing him like that and holding on, he would have screamed out, and then witnesses would have come and to the rescue, because in her testimony, she screamed out because he was attacking her, and there were these two witnesses that immediately came over and saw him attacking her. So this is where I don't quite believe that section of his testimony, and I'm wondering if jurors will kind of think along the same lines. I wonder if a man will be thinking differently than a woman. A man's going to know how much that hurts. I don't know.
free my testicles. And so I'm like thrashing with, and I get both hands free, and I'm trying to get her to let go of my testicles. And then she hits me with a rock on the side of the face.
Okay. So she's holding on to your testicles. You're kind of focused on that, obviously, and then at some point while you're focused on that, you
And it happened all really fast.
Yeah.
But
That's
I mean,
I'm glad you raised that up. Was this like happening slowly where you had
it
time
all
to
happened within probably less than a minute, maybe
quickly?
slightly more than a minute, but I mean, 2 minutes or something.
but you weren't timing it.
From the moment that like we were on the ground and she was grabbing my testicles was like
It happened quickly.
everything after the grabbing of the testicles happened very quickly.
Okay. And you weren't timing it or anything.
No.
This is just your estimate. Okay. So now she's holding on to you. She's squeezing your testicles, and you kind of dealing with that. And she's on the ground. And you're kind of on top of her.
Yes.
Okay. And you said then you felt you got hit with the rock.
Yes.
Where'd you get hit?
On the left side of my face.
How many times?
She kept doing it. The first blow she landed really well, and after that I was able to block
Okay.
fairly well. She did like land a couple more, but not as bad as the first one.
Does she still got your testicles?
Yeah, so she's like holding my testicle and just like
Okay.
hitting me like this.
And now
He's describing her as if she's the Incredible Hulk or something, and he's this like helpless guy, where he looks like he's in pretty good shape to me right here on the stand. I can't believe that a woman would be able to overpower him like this. So I think that's another problem with his testimony.
do you stop dealing with your
I'm
testicles?
just
and-
focused on the rock at this point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Did it hurt when you got hit with the rock?
You did.
Could we publish what's in evidence as Exhibit D30, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay. Gerhardt, is this where you got hit with the rock?
Yes.
Is that the area?
Yes.
All right. We can take that down.
What
Now,
do you think about that?
you get hit with the rock. Explain to the jury what happens next and why.
I was able to wrestle the rock out of her hand.
Does
After,
she still have her testicles?
yes.
Still squeezing them?
Yes.
What do
And
you do?
I was able to, like, so we're like, she's hitting me and I'm like blocking and then I start like, you know, and I get
Is
her
there a
wrist.
scuffle over the rock?
Yes.
Is it near her face?
Yes. I mean, it's yeah, it's
And then what
right.
happens?
And I finally get the rock.
What'd you do?
I hit her with the rock.
How many times do you think you hit her?
I hit her 2 times.
And when you did, was she still holding on to your testicles?
Yes.
At least initially?
Yes.
Hold on one second. I want to show you a picture of what she looked like. It's right here. I mean, look at that. I think she looks a lot worse than he did. So we'll go back to this.
Why did you hit her? Why did you react that way?
Just on instinct to defend myself.
Okay. How fast was this all happening? Pretty fast?
Really fast.
Okay. In between when she hit you with the rock and in between the time she hit you with the rock and when you hit her with the rock, were you able to safely retreat and get away from her?
No.
Yeah. Why not?
She was holding on to me.
Including your testicles?
Yes.
Did you hit her in the face or the eye with the rock?
No.
Where you said 2 times, where did you hit her?
On the side of the head.
Okay. So we've seen these photos of the stellate laceration. You caused that by hitting her, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you continue to hit her after those 2 hits?
No.
And why not?
Because she stopped fighting. She let go of my testicles and I was
Okay.
able to stand up.
And then
I think it's because the 2 witnesses came along.
you stopped.
Yes.
You know, there was testimony about the 2 witnesses. Did you stop hitting her because the witnesses showed up?
No. I didn't know that they were there until after I stood up.
Did you see blood?
Yes.
Was there?
I think this guy is full of it. I can't believe that, I think it was a mistake that he took the stand at all based on this testimony. What do you guys think? Leave something in the comments.
There are a lot of blood.
There was a lot of blood.
Did you see her kind of scoot down towards the witnesses?
Yes.
Did you try to stop her in any way?
No.
You let her get to them.
Yes.
Did you hear her yelling to the witnesses, he's trying to kill me?
Yes.
Gerhardt, did you have any syringes on the mountain that day?
No.
Did you try to poke her or stab her with any syringes?
No.
Okay. Now, Gerhardt, she scoots away. She's now with the 2 witnesses. You see a lot of blood. What do you physically do now?
I actually don't think they recovered any syringes on the trail at all. So I'm wondering if, while the police were looking for him, if he's somehow disposed of the syringes. But that's one area where, you know, there might be a question about her testimony. What happened to the syringes?
I'm just in a daze and I just kind of watch her crawl away and then leave with the other 2 hikers.
Okay, she got the hikers. What do you do next? Was her bag and your bag there?
Yeah, so I just kind of reflexively gathered up all of our stuff and then I start walking up the trail.
Let me ask you this. At this point, immediately following what just happened, you saw, you know, you guys had this scuffle. You saw a lot of blood. What was your state of mind and emotional state like right now, right at this point that we're at?
Severe emotional distress.
How did you feel at that time about the fact that you had responded and defended
Horrible.
yourself? Let me finish the
Horrible.
question.
Sorry.
How did you feel about the fact that you, even though you say it was, you were defending yourself, how did you feel about that she was bleeding?
I felt horrible.
Okay. Did you ever plan on hurting her that day?
No,
Did you ever want to hurt her that day?
no,
You reacted to defend yourself in the heat of that moment. You said yes?
yes,
But did you still feel bad about it?
yes.
I think the whole thing about
You
the
mentioned
syringes
that-
is odd.
You were in
Really do.
some kind of extreme emotional distress, I think you said. Okay.
Yes,
Did you become, at some point after that, suicidal?
yes.
Why? Why? Tell the jury why. To the best of your understanding.
I just felt hopeless at that point in terms of everything. Like I felt horrified about what I did to her. Like that I caused this to her. That I had resorted to violence against my wife, the person who I loved the most in the world, and just kind of felt hopeless in terms of our relationship too.
Okay. And that being said, I mean, in that moment, were you defending yourself when you reacted that way?
Yes.
Actually cumulative. Oh, overall.
Yes.
What did you do next? Now you're heading up the hill. What do you do next?
I just kind of kept walking up and kind of got to the same place that I had made it the last time, where the trail opens up and you're finally on the ridge, and
Were you thinking about jumping?
I'd already decided. I decided to jump, and kind of last second was made the decision to call Emile just to say goodbye.
Okay. So this incident happens. You talked about the emotional state you were in. Did you believe your marriage was over?
Yes.
Did you believe you heard her yelling to the other people that he's trying to kill me?
Yes.
You saw how bloody she was.
Yes.
Did you believe that your career could be over?
Yes.
Did you you became suicidal? Who's the one person in the world you wanted to call
My son Emile.
before you jumped?
Yes.
Okay. Were you in a good state of mind when you made that call?
No.
How do you feel about the fact that you put him in that position and made that call to him?
He saved my life that day.
Also, convinced you not to jump?
He saved my life that day, but I put him in this position where he is now, where he thinks I tried to kill her. And for the last year, he's thought that. And
I heard him yesterday only refer to you as the defendant and not as dad.
yes.
Do you blame him? Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, I don't blame him. I had such good intentions of calling him, but
In the sense that you wanted to say goodbye.
I wanted just to say goodbye and tell him how he's an amazing person, and he should live his life to the fullest. And
Okay. Okay. Let me stop you there. Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk a little more specifics about the call. Okay. First of all, where were you when you faced? Well, was it a FaceTime?
it was FaceTime, yes.
Okay. Where were you when you did this FaceTime call?
It was in a spot where the trail wasn't right next to the cliff edge, because the cliff edge at that point wasn't really an edge. It was like a 10-foot kind of sloped part, and then the edge. And so I was basically between the cliff edge and the trail, kind of hanging on to the side of the mountain.
Was it a pretty kind of steepish area?
Yeah, very steep.
And were you kind of like on the side of the mountain?
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta,
Yes, sorry.
okay. And so just to be clear, the place you FaceTimed him from, was that the place that the incident took place?
No.
Okay. On the FaceTime, would it have looked like you were on kind of the edge of a mountain?
Yes.
Were you on speakerphone?
Yes.
I mean, like holding it where he could see your face?
Yes.
Now,
And I showed him the view and where I was, like.
there was testimony from police officers that it was a windy day and notoriously windy area. Do you recall it being pretty windy that day?
It was windy, yeah, up there.
So you're on the side of a cliff, mountain. You have them on speaker on FaceTime. It's windy, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. You were extremely emotional at that time?
Yes.
So that's the context of this phone call, correct?
Yes.
Did you tell him that Ariel you were calling him to say goodbye, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, was your purpose to explain to him every last detail of what happened?
No.
Okay. But you did tell him several things, right?
Yes.
Did you tell him that Ariel had been having an affair?
I did.
Okay. Did you tell him that, she got hurt, her head was bleeding?
Yeah, after he asked about the blood on my shirt.
Now, did the word kill come up in the conversation?
It probably did.
What do you recall explaining to him about that?
I don't recall explaining. The only thing I can think of is that I said that she said I tried to kill her.
Okay. So let's break back that up.
Yeah.
So you told him that the blood was hers, yes?
Yes.
And you're telling him that you're gonna jump,
And yes.
okay? And did you tell him something about we're gonna get to the part about the police, but you're telling him about how you're gonna jump, and you're saying you heard her say to the witnesses, he tried to kill me. Okay. Were you explaining that to Emile?
No. So
What
I
were
was.
you saying?
I was talking to myself at the same time too, and I was basically saying because I remember saying wow, this is so hard because it turns out killing yourself is a hard thing to do once you actually go and do it.
Okay.
And so I was talking to him about saying goodbye and she had an affair and those things, but then I was also kind of talking to myself and I think I was saying to myself she said I tried to kill her. She said I tried to kill her.
Okay. Were you confessing to him that you were trying to kill Ari that day?
No.
Okay. Did you have an intention to kill Ari that day?
No.
Okay. Would you have said it that way? I tried to kill Ari that day.
No.
Okay. But you don't dispute that the word kill probably came up.
No.
Okay. And can you understand how Emile in that conversation could have got that impression?
Yes.
Okay. So what else happens in this first call? What do you mean when you say he tried to convince you not to jump?
He just and
This is terrible. He's basically saying that his son heard him wrong. And that's the best he can do. I found his son to be very credible on the stand. I personally don't believe this guy at all.
I mean, to his credit, I mean, he just reminded me that I had a choice, basically.
Okay. Reminded me to have a choice.
Yeah. Because he said, do you really have to do this?
After that,
I can't believe, as a parent, putting your kid through this. The jury's not going to like that. And I mean, this is why I'm upset with him as well. I mean, I can't imagine calling your son and saying, "Oh, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself." This guy's just not credible. He should not have taken the stand in his own defense. Again.
you got off the phone with him. You didn't jump, right?
No.
Okay. There was a second call an hour later.
Yes.
And he testified that he was at his Ari's parents' house. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, during that call, did he tell you what he told to Ari's parents?
Yes.
What did he tell you that he told Ari's parents?
He said, well, yeah, he said, I told them that you tried to kill Ari.
And what was your reaction to that?
I was like, why would you say that? And then,
You didn't mean that in the first call?
right.
Okay, so you're telling him why
And
did
I
you
didn't,
tell him?
at that point, I was like, so confused at why he would say that.
Okay. And then what did you say to him after that?
That I said, I gotta go, I gotta get off the phone.
And did you say to him, because you were going to kill yourself again?
Yes.
Did you say to him,
I said, I never mind, I gotta think about this. I'm probably gonna kill myself.
okay. Did you say something to him about, I got to go so the police won't find me?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you mean by that? Why were you trying to avoid the police?
I didn't want my choice of killing myself taken away at that time until
I think it's consciousness of guilt. He's running away and he's hiding because he knows he tried to kill his wife.
made the decision to either do it or not.
Okay. While you were still deciding if you were going to kill yourself, you didn't want to be seized by the police.
That's correct.
Because once they seize you, you wouldn't be able to kill yourself.
Yes.
Okay. After the second call, what did you do?
I just stayed on the mountain, kind of in the same general area.
Okay. Were you actively moving around, dodging the investigators?
Not really. I moved around a few times, but I mostly just sat and actually was in and out of sleep most of the day.
Yeah, he probably hid behind some bush, and there's no way he was sleeping either. This guy is so full of it.
If my recollection was that like a couple of hours had passed, and then I realized what time it was,
Okay.
and it was getting.
Let me ask you this.
getting
There's
dark.
been some talk about Ariel's bag. Did you initially have the bag?
I did.
What'd you do? What happened to the bag?
I honestly don't remember where I left. I must have left it at some point
Okay.
on the mountain
As you were
during that time.
During that time. Okay. Now, your bag that you had with you.
Yes.
What did you use that bag for?
It's a little crossbody Patagonia bag, and it's the bag that I take to work, to and from work and home every day.
Okay. You mentioned walking to work. Do you walk to work?
Not every day, but often, yes.
And when you do walk to work, you bring that bag.
When I walk to work and when I don't walk to work too. So this is the bag that I take into the hospital with me, and it has like my water bottle for the day, my sunglasses, snacks, paperwork for work,
Okay. You mentioned you need paperwork and sometimes
pens,
pens.
and yeah.
Okay.
Not sometimes pen, always a pen. I that's like the one thing I have to leave in my house with because I'm writing all day long, recording all the cases that I do.
Did you end up taking the SIM card out of your phone?
I did
How did you remove it?
with a paper clip.
Now, you end up.
That's even more consciousness of guilt. He's taking the SIM card out of his phone.
He said it seemed like a couple of hours, but obviously it was longer than that.
Yes.
At some point, do you come down off the mountain?
Yes.
Okay. And why did you do that? Tell the jury why you did that.
I decided I wasn't going to kill myself, and then I realized that it was going to be dark soon, and so I decided to turn myself in.
Okay. And so you actually came off the mountain when the sun was still out? I mean,
Yes.
when it was still lit?
It was still lit. Yeah, it was still light outside.
And that was to turn yourself in.
Yeah.
'Cause if you didn't want to be caught, what would you have done?
Kept hiding until dark, and
Okay. So you come down, and there was talk about you walking, down the road when the three officers got there.
Yes.
And were you trying to flee from them?
No.
Okay, so explain that to the jury. What happens when they pull up to you?
So I was walking down the road, and I was on in the little grassy area between the road and the
The one that was on the photograph,
bushes.
that one was like that little
Yeah.
grassy area.
And I heard a car behind me, and I looked, and it was like a minivan, and I just thought it was like tourists coming back from the Poly, and I was like, wow, I can't believe there's still tourists at the Poly. And so I just looked at it briefly, and then kept walking, but then the car stopped, kind of opposite me.
Okay, and what happened?
And I saw these two huge guys jump out of it, and they're both dressed the same, and I could see a police badge on the one.
Let me
that's
stop you there. So
closer
you knew
to
they
me.
were police.
Yeah, immediately.
Okay, and so what happens then?
They yell, "Please get down on the ground."
What'd you do?
I lay down on the ground, like
Now, what did they do?
on the grass, in the grassy area.
What did they do?
They ran over to me and held me down and struck me several times
Okay.
and handcuffed me.
Okay. Did you fall on your face with the officer falling on you in that transaction or interaction?
No officer fell on me at all during the entire thing, and I did not fall on my face.
Did they hit or punch you in the face?
No.
But they did, as they testify, strike you a couple of times?
Yes.
In where?
And my ribs and like my upper legs, like thighs.
Okay. So after this moment, now you're arrested. Did you have injuries from that whole day?
Yes.
Okay, we talked about the injury to the side of your face.
Yes.
What other injuries did you have after you were arrested?
Just my ribs.
Okay. Did you have any bite marks on your arm?
No.
Did you have any scratch marks on your face or body?
No.
And HPD photographed your injuries?
Yes.
Okay. Now, some additional questions, and we're getting close to the end of my examination, Gerhardt. I know it's been a long day. Your work bag on Maui. Well, let me ask you this before I go there. The bag that you had on,
Yes.
on the hike, did you see the big blood stain on the back of your shirt?
Yes.
What was that from?
It's from the bag
Okay,
that I was.
Explain that.
So during the scuffle, my bag, I was holding both bags. I put both bags down to take the selfie, and I had both bags again.
Why did you have her bag?
Because she had given it to me when she was climbing up on the
Okay.
tree. And then
The scuffle happened.
the scuffle happens, and my bag both bags, went flying basically, but my bag must have been right by her head, because after she left, when I picked my bag up, there was a bunch of blood on the back of it.
And then you put the bag on your back, and that's
Yes.
how the blood got on your shirt?
Yes.
Okay. Now, your work bag.
But that goes to show that she's really bleeding pretty bad. He really clocked her.
You're an anesthesiologist, correct?
Yes,
And you, that work bag was always on Maui, is that right?
that's correct.
Do you work in more than one location?
Yes.
And why did you have medications and syringes in that bag?
That's the bag that I use in the operating room every day, and I have medications in it that I use for work. Most of the medications that are in there are used for emergencies when I'm on call.
Okay, let me ask you about that. When you're on call, do you sometimes you're at home and you have to rush in to a different, is it always the same location?
Yes, when we're on call, we're always on call for the hospital. So
Okay.
I work at several locations, but all of the call shifts are for the hospital, really close.
So it is possible he had syringes in that bag. And it is possible that her story about the syringes is true. That's the way I'm reading this.
To my house, and so I can take call from home. Oftentimes I'm in scrubs already, and I have this work bag either right by the door or in the car. That way I can respond directly to either the emergency room or to labor and delivery or to the operating room without having to go to my locker.
Okay. Could we please publish State's Exhibit 94? Your Honor, I believe it's in evidence. One second while you double check.
I believe it is as well.
Okay?
Yes, you can proceed.
Okay, so this was in a bag, Just a couple of things. So like, what is this? What is this?
Those are bags of saline. The one on the left is still sealed, and the one on the right has medication in it.
Okay. And this is a stethoscope, is that right?
Yes.
What is this thing up here? This and that.
Oral airways for emergencies and elective surgery.
Okay. These are all stuff that you had at home regularly when you were either on call or depending on where you were going to work.
Yeah, I mean, this is everything that's usually in my bag, and it's everything that I would need to respond to different emergencies.
Okay. Could we please also publish State's Exhibit 103 that's also in evidence? Okay, is that this was also in your bag according to them, is that your work ID?
Yes.
Okay. The last shift you had before this trip, we can take that down. Where had you been working?
At the hospital.
Okay. Do you remember in what unit?
Labor and delivery.
Okay. So after that shift, would it be normal for you to have that bag?
Yes.
Okay, why is that?
Because I keep the bag with me for the entire shift. It's a 24-hour shift. I start at 7 a.m. and I keep going until 7 a.m. the next day. And so when my shift ends, unless I'm actively at the hospital taking care of something there, I'm at home when my shift ends. And so I was at home when my shift ended that day, and that's why I had the bag with me.
Oh, you're at home because you're on call.
Yes.
Okay. Now, prior to this trip to Oahu, did Ariel know about this bag and the fact you had medication syringes in it?
Absolutely. I've had it at home often.
Okay. Now, just a few last questions, Gerhardt. You know, you testified that you reacted to defend yourself when she had hit you with the rock, and it's all happening fast, and she has your testicles, you grab and you hit her, and it was all happening fast. So you were defending yourself in that moment, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And did you stop as soon as she stopped?
Yes.
Okay. But you also said you felt horrible about it.
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain to the jury how those things can coexist?
It's you know, I believe in the right to self-defense, right? But I mean, in the moment, it was kind of an impulse. It wasn't like a conscious, like, I'm going to analyze this from like a legal perspective. It was, but yet the result of it was harm to my wife.
Okay. How do you feel about that? That she's got hurt.
Horrible.
You've learned that she is filing for divorce and seeking full custody of your children, yes?
Yes.
Do you want joint custody?
Yes. More than any. That's.
Okay. And there's been testimony that you've been in custody, yes?
Yes.
Have you been able to speak with your two young boys from jail?
No.
Gerhardt, did you have a plan to kill your wife on the mountain that day?
No.
Did you try to throw her off a cliff?
No.
Did you try to stab her with syringes?
No.
When you hit her with the rock twice, why did you do it?
In self-defense.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Thank you, Mr. Tucker. Mayor Barnard, can you take a cross-examination tomorrow morning?
Can we approach?
My courtroom translation is this. Why on earth did the defendant take the stand? Actually, this is why defendants shouldn't take the stand. I'm not impressed with the defendant's credibility. Overall, in my opinion, his son Emile was way more credible than his dad. I think jurors will sympathize with the son and not believe the defendant's version of events. Also, premeditation doesn't have to be long. He could have decided to kill Ariel right after their argument. He was probably enraged and tried to push her off the cliff, like she said. I also think that the physical evidence supports Ariel's version of the events as well as the witness testimony. I'm curious as to what you think. I will post another video analyzing the cross-examination of the defendant as well. So if you've learned something today, be sure to subscribe so you can catch my analysis again. Once again, thank you for joining me. Good night.